everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Saturday, July 24th, 2021. Time is 4:12 p.m. Jersey time, and might I add, a very pleasant Jersey time kind of day. Sunshine, mild breeze, temperatures in the low 80s, low humidity. All right, I found this posting on the Monmouth County Police Chiefs Association Facebook page. I'm going to read it to you. And I'd like to know what your reaction is as soon as I read certain parts. And this came out a day ago, so that'd be like the 23rd. Here it is right here. I did post this on my Facebook page, Gunnison Undercover, so you can go find it right there real easy. I'll put the link in the description for you. Okay, so this reads as follows. This week, around 350 persons took the Monmouth County Police Chief's entrance examination for a police officer. We usually have 1,200 apply. Not surprisingly, though, the cowards who vilified this honorable profession crushed aspirations and dissuaded a majority of good people from wanting to be police officers, subsequently adversely impacting communities. Fortunately, these candidates realized the false narratives. Aww. Monmouth County Police Chiefs Association President, Chief Kudrik, took a few minutes before they began testing to thank them and offer words of encouragement. Communities here in Monmouth County are overwhelmingly supportive of the police. We are extremely grateful for our partnership. We hope every single one pursues their dream of becoming a police officer like we did ours many years ago. And let me just see if I can bring up this picture. There it is. And here's the picture. That's Chief Kudrik standing in front of these wannabes. Okay. Back to the subject. Okay, so this is what pisses me off. This is where I say he's delusional. I'm assuming this is Kudrik that made the statement. So, Chief Kudrik, you are delusional, and you have no business lecturing anybody about people being vilified. Let me just tell a few people out there what Chief Kudrik produced out of his department. He produced a child predator, an alleged child predator by the name of Sergeant Richard Conte, who wanted to have a date with a 15-year-old that he thought he met online, and he got caught in a sting operation with condoms in his pocket. He told her he wanted to lay naked with a 15-year-old, and he's awful quiet about it now. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore because it doesn't make him look good. All right, so I'm going to read my response. So I've responded here, and here it is right there, in case they decide they want to remove it. It's not a police organization, so it's not a government organization, so if they remove it, not much I can do about it. Okay, I said Vilify Crush. Maybe it's social media that's exposing all the bad cops out there hurting people and violating their rights. Maybe it's the millions of dollars paid out in lawsuit settlements thanks to bad cops. Maybe people don't want to be part of that blue line code of silence. Maybe people don't want to live off the backs of taxpayers. There's been over 20 bad cops in Monmouth County over the past 5 years. We can start with Chief Kudrik's own department that produced an alleged child predator, former Sergeant Richard Conte, who wanted to meet up with that 15-year-old and lie naked with her. I won't go into the wonderful officers Long Branch, Asbury Park, Deal, Ocean Township, Shrewsbury, Neptune Township, and Neptune City have produced. That's just off the top of my head, okay, folks? Clean up your own backyard and take responsibility for your tarnished reputation. See, I take exception to blaming, because really he's pointing fingers at me, not me personally, but what I represent. And what I represent is the exposing and the conversation that we're going to have about bad cops and the crap they do. I'm not here to put down police departments, the law enforcement community. I'm here to expose the crap that they do. I'm here to nullify the propaganda and to expose the truth of what's going on, because they mean law enforcement, do not want to have a conversation about this. They want you to live in bizarro land and think that they are all warm and fuzzy and wholesome and out there to protect and serve us. And it's all bullshit, people. It's all bullcrap. If you don't believe me by now, you need to take a good look at yourself, because go look at my channel, see all the stories I did. Not one of those stories that I reported on did I make up. They are all verified stories of bad police behavior. And so I'll talk about some of these towns here that I listed. Let me get back to, so I'll read that right again. He says usually I have 1,200 ply, but they only had 350. Not surprising though, the cowards who vilified this honorable profession. It's not an honorable profession. You work for the government. Your job is to enforce laws, generate revenue for the government, and to protect the government. Nothing in your job is about protecting and serving. You're enforcing laws. Any protection is a byproduct of that enforcement. But for the most part, your job is to hurt people and promote government rules and policies. And if anybody doesn't believe me, just go back and look last year when we had the COVID thing was in full swing. And if you didn't follow one of the things that Murphy told us to do, or your governor told you to do, who showed up and made you do it or took you away because you didn't do it? It wasn't the Easter Bunny and it wasn't Santa Claus that showed up. It was a cop. It was some cop that showed up and said, hey, you gotta wear the mask, or hey, you can't play guitar, you can't play Pink Floyd on your front yard, you can't do this and you can't do that. He says, the cowards who vilified his honorable profession crush aspirations and dissuade a majority of good people. We're not crushing their aspirations. The people are just thinking, you know what, maybe I'm better off going being a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or an accountant, or maybe I'm going to be a teacher, or I'm going to go work for the DPW, or, you know, do something that really does help the community. Because I don't see how law enforcement helps the community other than enforcing laws. And I will concede that, yeah, some of these laws do keep law in order, because we can't have vigilantes running around there, and we can't have jackasses running around there doing what they want and hurting people. So to me, law enforcement is a double edge. It's one of, you know, it's just something. It's something that we have to have, unfortunately. It's a necessary evil. That's the way that'd be a good way of putting it. A necessary evil that we have to have, because without it, there's just some people out there that are going to hurt people and can't behave themselves. So we have to have these knuckleheads running around with the badges and the guns. Unfortunately, they take it a step further than what we want them to do, and they hurt people. Fortunately, these candidates realize the false narrative. That's bullshit. They just want that power. They want to go sit in that car with the lights and the gun. You know, how many people out there, I did this last night, Friday night the 23rd, when I was at the Monmouth County Fair, and I'm out there with Matt Tim, and we're watching a couple freehold cops walk around, and it's like, you just see that attitude of them walking around like, they're in charge and they're watching you and you better behave yourself kind of attitude. And the attitude when they stop citizens and a citizen knows their rights and exercise them, the attitude that the cop gets, the next thing you know, that citizen's getting hurt. That's the real deal. And this is just, to me, this is bizarro propaganda. The Chief Kudrik, you're delusional, pal. You are delusional. Okay, so let me get back to my comment. So, I pointed out, you know, we had Howell Township with the sergeant allegedly once that had sex with a 15-year-old. He got caught down at Seaside Heights, waiting to go to trial. It's been over 2 years now. We're still waiting to hear about that. Law enforcement's quiet about that. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about lemonade stands, and you know, you see pictures of 7 or 8 of them standing around at $100,000 a year having a cup of lemonade with some 9-year-old. But that's bizarro world, people. That's not the truth. That's just a photo op. That's propaganda. Nothing about what they did there is keeping is the truth. It's just an opportunity that they're seizing. Okay, so Long Branch, there's several bad cops over there in Long Branch. We had Pascucci, who killed that woman when he was drunk. We had Officer Akel out drinking. Wraps his car around, he wakes up, doesn't know where he's been for 2 hours, wraps his car around a telephone pole. He got off easy, no DWI for him. He had a reckless drive, he still got his job. Then we had the former cop there. He wasn't a cop, he was a cop while it happened, but not when he got in trouble. He stole $85,000, I think, from the local 10 PBA, got caught, didn't go to jail though. We have Patrick Joyce, the groper, the guy likes to help his friend beat up somebody at a bar. He got in trouble twice. Finally, the second time he got fired, and he's costing the taxpayers a lot of money. Groped a woman. And then you have the latest one there, Chris Walls, Officer Chris Walls, who got caught with a meth lab in his basement, domestic violence in a meth lab. That's just Long Branch. Then we get into Asbury Park. Well, let's see, Asbury Park off the top of my head, we have the two officers that after work rode their bicycles over into Ocean Grove and busted up two of a man's cars. They got caught. They're no longer on the job anymore. How much are they costing the taxpayers? Then you have the other officer, which was doing good at one point, but then he screwed up. He shot Hassani Best point blank. Who knows what's going to happen with that one? Let's see. Let's get into the deal, police. Oh, we have Mr. Amaturo. Amateur, I forgot which it is. His brother was a sergeant over there. Well, he got caught with horse pills. Yeah, horse pills. Well, he's no longer a cop anymore. And he was buddied up with another one from Ocean Township who was helping him with the pills, the veterinary pills. Apparently they wanted to get buff, and these pills make them buff? I don't know. Well, they're not on the job anymore. Let's see, Neptune Township. Oh, they got the real poster boy cop over there. Sergeant Seidel, look it up, Google it. Sergeant Seidel had a file, complaint files on him, must have been stacked this high, of all kinds of problems and domestic violence. And finally the end result was, he shot his wife point blank in front of his daughter. Now he's spending 30 years in the pokey. Oh yeah, he's the poster boy. In Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, everybody knew about this guy. He was a bomb waiting to go off, and eventually he went off. Neptune City. Oh, Neptune City. Well, let's talk about Neptune City. They had an officer back in October. So that that was about 9 months ago, who stopped a young woman, 18-year-old woman, and charged her with possession of marijuana or something. I talked to this girl. The whole thing was just like so silly. And he got her number, and next thing you know, she must have been flirting with him a little bit, trying to get out of the charge. And so he goes and arrests her, and then charge her, and then he has, I guess, arrester's remorse. He starts texting her, and next thing you know, it's getting sexual. And she was smart. She put up with it, and I guess she screenshot some of it, and he's not on the job anymore. Then we had an officer out of Shrewsbury Borough who, a couple years ago, apparently, I think she was a waitress, and I guess maybe he was trying to have a little relationship with her, and she told him to kick rocks, go away, leave her alone, and he showed up at her doorstep, and there must have been another gentleman there that was trying to defend her against this maniac cop and that cop ended up allegedly punching him in the face, and so, you know, he stalked her and domestic violence and assaulted somebody. He's not on the job anymore. But let's see, what else do we have? I didn't listen to it. We had the Middletown cop, I think he was a lieutenant. He was drunk up in New York somewhere, upstate New York, and he hit some car and left the scene of the accident, and the only way they caught him was his front license plate fell off the car, and they found the license plate. I don't think he's a cop anymore. This is that. You take that and combine that with the George Floyd situation, the Rodney King thing out of the 90s, and all the thousands and thousands of stories and that you see on the internet. All one's got to do is cop charged, cop arrested, cop sentenced, cop indicted, or take police charge, police arrested, police sentenced, police indicted. And the story's just the pages, there's hundreds of pages on it of bad cops. You can go to YouTube and do the same thing in there, and all the videos that come up over the years of these cops perpetrating sexual violence against women, sexual violence against children, violence against men, stealing, drugs, DUI, drunk, killing people, violence. And you're asking yourself, do I want to join this kind of, in my opinion, the only reason to join to be a police officer at this point in time is to enjoy the six-figure salaries that they get. And now here in New Jersey, if I'm correct, all they got to do is work, 20 years and they can get a little retirement? They don't work too hard, people. And tell me about this, it's a dangerous job. At times it can be dangerous, but I think, in my opinion, for the most part, they create those dangerous situations themselves. Like chasing after a car 100 miles an hour by themselves and then jumping out, and next thing you know, there's 5 guys got out of the car and blow them away. Well, who created that dangerous situation? They did. The officer did. And being a police officer is not even in the top 10 most violent, dangerous job. I say violent, most dangerous. And most officers through the course of their career will never use their gun. They'll never discharge it unless you're afraid of a dog. Like a certain officer over here in Tinton Falls, New Jersey, sees 2 dogs running at him. He fears for his life and shoots the dogs. Now he's costing taxpayers a lot of money. So yeah, Chief Kudrik, let me bring it back up. When you say stuff like cowards who vilify this honorable profession, crush the aspiration, dissuade a majority of good people, maybe you need to go look at your own profession, your own officers, and clean up your backyard and put an end to these bad cops out there, okay, Mr. Andy boy? You got to clean up your own backyard. You got to rid this county of all the bad officers out there that are making your law enforcement look bad and swaying people away from becoming a police officer. Because being a police officer, in my estimate, from what I see every day, it's just about going out and extorting money from people and perpetrating violence on citizens. That's why you got a problem with people, only 350 people showing up when you're expecting 1,200. All right, people, I will put the link in the description. You can go read the whole thing yourself, or you can just go to Gunnison Undercover. I put the story right there. You can read it. And I really would like to hear from everybody what your opinion is on this, that this Police Chief Andrew Kudrik is blaming bad press, people like me who talk about bad police, as the reason why he's not getting a very big turnout. And I gotta tell you something, people. Some of the pictures of some of the people I saw there, the people trying out for police, they're gonna have to go through fat boy camp or fat girl camp first before they can come become a police officer, because some of those bellies out there, I don't know how they could pass the physical test. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Till next time, people.
It sound right, boys.